On this episode of DU Nation, we're duck hunting about an hour east of Dallas with some of our good friends from Tetra Hearing. Both Reagan and Carly have been competitive shooters for years, but neither of them had hunted ducks before this trip. Luckily, they're joined by Tetra's own Amy Hall, who's been an avid hunter her whole life.
Let's go, baby! Man, that got me hyped. I definitely enjoyed it. It was great. That adrenaline was pumping after that first shot, and it just made me, every time they kept saying ducks are coming in, it just really, really got me going.
I thought it was super fun. So before this, my favorite shooting was definitely white-tailed deer with rifle. But I think now duck hunting is probably my favorite type of hunting. I thought it was super cool, the camaraderie where you don't have to just sit super still and be quiet the whole time, which is a lot different than other kinds of hunting. And I was able to learn a lot about why we duck hunt, why the birds are migrating, things like that, different types of ducks. So that was super cool.
Our guide for these 2 days was Will from Grain In Outfitters, and we got to have two very different types of hunts on this trip.
First day we were here, we set up an oxbow lake. It's about, on average 2 to 3 foot deep all the way across. And we set up in there, did well. We had a lot of pintails come in. The greenheads hadn't really pushed yet. There's a big feed that's right, 300 acres of flooded timber or flooded corn right next door, and they're staying in that right now. Temperatures aren't hard enough, wind's not pushing hard enough to really get them to fly. But we got a bunch of pintails came in. We had some good gadwalls come in. So conditions got better as the morning went on. Today, the wind's finally starting to pick up. Temperatures are dropping. The birds are shifting for sure, but we're getting a lot of just migratory birds that are shooting over top of us and not getting down. But we picked some off today, so it wasn't a bad hunt.
Shoot him! In addition to getting these ladies their first ducks, this was an opportunity for all of us to experience Tetra's hearing protection in the field with the people who know everything there is to know about this product.
one of the great things about Tetra is not only are we allowing you to hear anything from duck wings coming in and hearing your duck call as you're trying to call the birds in, but we don't necessarily need you to hear the wind in your ears. We want to take that away so that you can focus on the things that you want to hear. It goes on into turkey hunting. You want to be able to hear everything from the gobble to the hen call to puts, purrs, the drum of a turkey. It's the details that matter. Take it into the range where we're shooting clays or even steel targets. We want people to be able to hear not just how their shot is going off. You want them to be able to hear how a gun is functioning. You want them to hear the people that they're surrounded by. But you don't necessarily need to hear the gravel behind you. You don't need to hear the things that are getting in the way of your listening experience. So we specialize that. That's our patented technology, that we're able to give you the things that you want to hear and exclude some of the things that you don't need to hear.
Oh, it's funny because I've military, hunting, shooting guns my entire life. I never wore hearing protection ever, because it was, when I'm hunting, I want to be able to hear everything else around me, and all the older hearing that we've always used, it's either over the ear or in the ear, and it's always been muffled or made it sound different or off. Then with Tetra, and what you can hear there is just like natural. And I, like even today, I was hearing stuff that I wouldn't usually hear in the timber or in a blind in general that you don't hear with regular ears, just with nothing in them. Now with Tetra, it's opening it up more to where you can hear more things, you can hear more unique things. And I think it's honestly making me a better hunter and me a better caller in certain aspects too, because I'm hearing things that I didn't before. So there's a stigma behind them, and behind any hearing protection in the hunting industry, in my opinion, that most duck hunters don't wear it. And I think once we can kind of get some more knowledge and get some more demos, get people in the ears, get them out there, I think it's going to be a really good thing, because I swear by mine now.
Whenever we receive an order from a customer, we're also receiving a hearing test from them. That allows us to specifically program each device to what that customer needs. It's based on frequency, it's based on percentage of hearing loss, it's based on all of the things that's telling us how they hear now and how we can improve that. It brings back not just the ability to hear, but to hear directionally, which really helps in the duck blind and in flooded timber, to know where all of the sounds are coming from without having to expose your face. Our hearing is based on left and right ear. It's not just one sound coming through. So we program these individually. It's not the same programming in each device. So each ear is programmed specifically to what each customer needs.
I think the biggest stigma between duck hunters and not wearing hearing protection is calling, and the fact that you would assume that if you're putting something in your ears, then you can't hear your call. So that's one of the coolest things about Tetras, is that you can put them in your ears and you can still hear the call. So I think that's one of the biggest difference between like us and different hearing protection brands, is that it's completely different in that you can still hear like what's going on around you. You can hear if your guide's telling you to shoot, you can hear like what's going on and still feel protected.
Before Tetra, I used to have a pair of just silicone molded plugs, and they're very frustrating. Some days it kind of makes you not want to wear hearing protection, to be perfectly honest, because if anybody tries to talk to you, you have to try to wiggle that plug out, say, what did you say? And it's just not functional. It's not practical. Obviously it is for the protection side, but that's all you get out of it. So with Tetra, it's really amazing to be able to have that customization of a molded plug while being able to hear as if you were me and you just talking normally. There is no having to take anything out, and loading multiple programs onto these devices allows you to just quickly change to whatever it is that you're doing. So that's really a huge step forward in both the shooting sport community and the hunting community, and that's why we're here.